Hey everybody, welcome to the LL Spring Sports Roundtable with Jason Garente, Jeff Reinhardt here, LNP and Lancaster Online. 1, 2, 3. We have a third seat in the studio. Big news. We'd like to welcome Ryan Markley to the squad. He'll be joining the sports staff here full time. He's been here for a week. He'll be jumping on the lacrosse beat here for the rest of the spring. Brian, say hello to the world. World, Brian, world.
World, hello. Like Jeff said, my name's Brian. I have been with LNP in some form or capacity for since 21 was my internship all those years ago. And we're finally here. Like Jeff said, it's been a week. Thrown right into the lacrosse beat, and it's so far so good.
Okay. Okay, Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Jason and I are here for you. Do your best.
I sure will.
Okay, let's talk spring sports. There's a ton going on. I'll start it off with softball. We'll get back to you for lacrosse in a sec. First note off the top, I thought this was a cool stat, and I'm a stat nerd, as you know. Danica Setlock, Anvil Cleona, softball, shortstop, like the shortstops. I thought this was a cool number. Last week, she reached 100 career hits, runs, and RBIs. 100 in 3 different categories. I thought that was pretty cool. Tip of the cap to Danica. Okay, here are the races. We're just about at the end of the regular season in all of the sports that we cover. Real quick in softball. Section 1 tied. Warwick 7-1, Penn Manor 7-1. Next Monday, Penn Manor at Warwick. That is the last night of section play in softball. Warwick, Katie Heisey, 468 with 24 ribs. It's pretty good. Section 2, Solanco out front comfortably, 8-0, LS 6-2. So Solanco did get its first loss this season last week. It was a non-league game. They lost 1-0 against Penn Manor. I think they're 16-1 here at midweek. In charge in Section 2. Delaney Gote continues to rake for Solanco. 571, 6 homers, 28 ribs. Pretty good. I do not know her F-WAR, but those are pretty good stats. Northern Lebanon out front in Section 3, 8-0. Donegal 6-2. Vikes have a comfortable lead. Northern Lebanon's only given up 31 runs. Fewest in the league. It's a good stat. Lindsay Mauser, the pitcher and the ace. She's also hitting .540, 3 homers, 21 RBIs. Section 4, tied. Lancaster Catholic 7-1, Anvil Cleona 7-1. Today, as we tape, Wednesday, Anvil Cleona at Lancaster Catholic. Winner gets driver's seat for that section title. Kaylee Detz, Lancaster Catholic ace, 12 wins, 98 strikeouts in the circle. That's pretty good. Okay, Jace, what do you got?
Baseball. Let's talk about Hempfield. People are getting bored with Hempfield, defending district and state champs. 15-0.
Wow.
Went to Shillington, played Governor Mifflin, which was the defending 5A state champ, won 3-2 in 9 innings. Camden Hulock, a 3-run homer in the 9th.
Oof.
Epic game between the 2 best teams in 6A. Mifflin has moved up a classification. Hempfield can clinch Section 1. They go to the War tonight, which is Wednesday, to play Ephrata.
Nice.
If they win, the Black Knights are the Section 1 champs. Effort is in a log jam with Penn Manor and with Township fighting for second place. Ephrata needs this one to, if they win out, the Mounts would be in the league playoffs. So that's the Section 1 story. Section 2 belongs to Lampeter Strasburg. Devin Aponte, their ace.
There you go.
He officially clinched it with a win at E-Town earlier this week. Just a dynamite pitcher. Used to be a catcher, became a pitcher partway through his junior season. Not a big kid, doesn't throw real hard, but just really knows how to pitch and knows how to keep guys off balance. Section 3, Manheim Central and Donegal are both in the league playoffs. Central has a 1-game lead. The only loss that either team has in league play was Central beating Donegal, and they have a rematch in the regular season finale, the league finale, on Monday. Central has to go to Mount Joy and could clinch it outright by sweeping Donegal. So that's been a 2-team race pretty much the whole way. Section 4 is Northern Lebanon's. They're the highest scoring team in the league. They have arguably the best 2-way player in the league in Adrian Gonzalez, who has 8 wins as a pitcher and is also a solid hitter. Northern Lebanon has clinched. Anvil Cleona is trying to get that second playoff spot in Section 4. The other playoff spot up for grabs in Section 2, E-Town's trying to grab that. And you don't want to deal with E-Town in the playoffs because they can throw Isaiah Shader in a quarterfinal game, and that's trouble. So if E-Town's able to get in, they'll be dangerous in the first round. So We're about a week away from the league playoffs starting, and you know how baseball is. Fluky things happen. You just got to get in. You got to get hot, and you can win it. Hempfield won the state title, but did not win the league title last year, which kind of shows you how unpredictable baseball can be.
So Hempfield Mifflin was 0-0 in the ninth?
0-0 into the ninth.
Wow.
Both teams threw their best pitcher, Ethan Grimm. 14 strikeouts, 2 base runners allowed in 7. No one shuts down Hempfield, and he did. Yeah. And Hempfield started Brody Gebhardt, who obviously pitched them to the state title last year. Yeah,
it's tough to go undefeated in baseball.
Incredibly hard.
Seriously.
Incredibly hard.
I marvel at undefeated basketball teams. That's
in
hard.
The section with 2 of the top 6 teams in the district in Efferton Township, and they've played a great non-league schedule. It's amazing.
It's tough to run the table there. Brian, you may have heard that Manheim Township is pretty good at lacrosse.
Yeah.
Not bad. Let's start with the girls' side. What do you got?
So, like Jeff said, in girls, obviously Township is pretty much locked up Section 1. How many LL titles in a row would they be going for?
Ooh, Township?
This one
Township girls?
Township girls.
17, 18?
It's a lot.
Yeah. It's 15. They'd be going for 15 in a row. So, yeah, it's hard to ignore their dominance. We don't talk about them as much because they are so dominant, but you can't ignore it. The one thing I did want to point out in Section 1, Hempfield has the 2nd spot, and Hempfield has, I believe it's 5 girls who have 20 or more goals, which I think is pretty
good balance.
Balance, and you don't see that a ton in lacrosse. Usually it's 2, maybe sometimes you have a third that's really a strong scorer, but they are kind of quietly just sitting there in 2nd place. They should be secure in the 2nd place there over Penn Manor, who's 5-3. But Section 2, a little more interesting. Cocalico is 7-1 in the section in 1st. E-Town 6-2 in Section 2. E-Town, of course, you guys talked about last week. The 2 scores they have are unreal. I believe Danny Bruno is going for she'll probably hit her 300th goal tonight against Garden Spot, which is very impressive. But I think to keep an eye on in Section 2, Cocalico plays E-Town. They host E-Town next Monday night. And if E-Town wins that, they would tie in the loss column with Cocalico for 1st place. So that's kind of where we're at with girls. It's pretty solidified in Section 1, but Section 2 there's still some stuff to play for next Monday night, the last regular season game for those 2 teams, Cocalico and E-Town. It'll be interesting to see how that shakes up.
And then everybody chases the streaks in the playoffs.
Yep.
Okay, we'll see how it goes. Okay, tennis. We're done with the LL season in tennis. The championships were earlier this week, Monday, at Conestoga Valley. I actually went to that, and I had the sunburn to prove it. Here are the LL champs. Gentlemen, take a bow. AAA singles, Zach Kuiper denies Cooper Lehman from Hempfield. It would have been his 4th in a row, which nobody has done. But Zach Kuiper wins. He beat Cooper Lehman 6-3, 6-1. Cooper Lehman still finishes with 4 title match appearances and 3 titles, which is really good, but Kuiper got the job done. He wins. 2A boys singles, Cole Stoltzfus from
Pequay Valley.
Good call, Jace. Beat Travis Hostetter from Evo Cleona 6-1, 6-2. Doubles, AAA, Lehman salvages his day. Teams with Braylon Garcia to win the 3A doubles title. 2A doubles, Stoltzfus and Hayden Winnie from Pequay Valley, they win 2A doubles. As we speak, the District 3 team tournament is ongoing. District 3 singles, doubles, all that starts next week, and I'm sure there will be LL kids playing for the next month at the Hershey Racquet Club. Enjoy. Okay, what's up with track and field? Good stuff, I'm sure.
Last weekend was a big one. Penn Relays, Cypress Open at Millersville, Lebanon County Track and Field Championships. It's the last big weekend until the league meet, which is not this Friday, Saturday, the following Friday, Saturday. Margaret Bila, Lancaster Catholic Senior, the defending Class 2A discus champ, reached 152.1 at Penn Relays, the top American finisher there. That is the 3rd best throw in LL history.
Wow.
She's about 11 feet off the record, which is Ella Lucas from just 2 years ago. And that record had stood prior to that for more than 2 decades.
Wow.
So it's very unusual to get over 150 and then start to push to 160. And it's within reach for Margaret, and she is a big favorite in Class 2A. There simply aren't throwers of that caliber in 2A. They're more in 3A. So she has a chance to go back-to-back as a state champion. That'll be something to watch going forward. At the Cy Fritz, Allie Fink ran a 5:01 1600. Whenever you start to get to around 5 minutes in the 1600, you're potentially in district medal and state qualifying area. So if you get under 5, that's a great achievement. So she was the winner at the Cy Fritz. The big name from the Lebanon County Championships, McKenna Haas, triple jump, 38 8 1/4, which is 8th all time, and about 8 inches off the league record. So she's been climbing, and once you get to 38 39, you're pretty much among the best to ever do it in the LL League. So she has a couple more weeks. If she gets good weather, maybe she can break 39. She's one of those girls that's been around and on the medal stand for a few years now. So congrats to her. She was the Lebanon County champion in that event. The boys' side, the big story was Manheim Township's 4x8,
again,
which ran 7:40.69, which missed the league record by 0.6 of a second.
Oh,
That's an incredible time. You got to put 4 155 800s together. You have to have 4 guys who can run. It's almost impossible. They have that group. They have the top 3 open 800 times, which is Cole Stevens, Ethan Peffley, and Adam Kingston, who's one of the greatest 2-milers in league history. And Andrew Kemper is the 4th member of that group. So they have an incredible foursome, and that record is CV's, and it's stood since 2006. So if they can somehow shave another second, they could get it. But you never know. You get to the big meets, and these guys do a lot of different things. They run the mile, they run the 2 miles, so they may not have everything in the tank like they did for Penn Relays, which is where they posted that time. But that's just an incredible number, 7:40.69.
That's
in the
pretty
4x8.
great. That's pretty great. McKiskey girls break any records in the last week?
That first time they had was so good, it's going to be tough to beat. They're running against themselves right now.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, boys lax. What do you got?
Okay, well, let's get it out of the way again. Manheim Township 8-0 in the league. They have Section 1. They beat Penn Manor on Monday. A lot closer than you would have thought. It was only 4-2 Township lead at halftime. Penn Manor's Joe Hull, the goalie, was he was phenomenal. He really kept the Comets in it early. Unfortunately, Township's they're so deep. They have a ton of kids who've stepped up on the offensive side. They needed goal scoring from different places, and they're getting that. Their defense is super solid. They're good, and they're going for their 4th LL title in a row.
Only 4?
Well, in a row. I mean, a little more competition on the boys' side than the girls' side, but still dominant. Section 2, there is still something to play for. Today, as Jeff said, as we're recording this afternoon, Cacalico at Warwick. Cacalico is currently 6-2 in the section. Warwick is 5-3 in the section. So good matchup there to maybe get an LL spot. Or at least maybe get them in the mix at least. But LS, similar to Township, is still far and away the best team in Section 2, 8-0. They beat Cacalico again last week. Didn't play their best and still came out on top. That team's pretty impressive, and I think if I had to pick a team to give Township a run, it's going to be the Pioneers. They've made runs over the years. They know what it takes to win. So it would be interesting to see if those two meet in the final to see how that goes. But yeah, like I said, the last real meaningful regular season game will be this afternoon. But other than that, the boys' side is pretty much solidified in LL playoffs. So
we kid about Township. We kid because we enjoy covering them. That whole program is great. In lacrosse at Township.
The thing you find in lacrosse is the schools that have that are always in it they continue to get better and better year after year. And there's some other teams like going back to the girls real quick, but like E-Town, they could you don't want to play that offense, but we'll see how it shakes out.
Okay, very good. All right, we'll wrap it up with volleyball quickly. Section 1. This one's going down to the wire. We got a week and a half left in volleyball. Warwick 9-1, Crest 8-1, Hempfield 7-2, Warwick and Crest split. Warwick beat Crest last Tuesday night. I'll use one of your words, epic. 3-2, phenomenal match. So Warwick and Crest at midweek are tied in the loss column. Thursday night, Hempfield at Cedar Crest. See you there. Next Thursday on the last night of section play, Warwick at Hempfield. So somebody's going to have to get through Hempfield to get 2 of the 3 playoff spots. Great race in Section 1. Section 2, Mannheim Central closing in on its 3rd straight section title. Barons are 11-0. They're number 2 in the state. They're number 1 in the District 3 power ratings. Cocalico 9-2. CV 8-3. Northern Lebanon, the Vikes, first year in the LL, beat CV 3-2 on Tuesday. That knocked CV out of a 2nd place tie with Cocalico. Rough road for the Bucks. They have to play Mannheim Central this week, and they have to play Cocalico next week. So Central and Cocalico look to be in good shape in Section 2. State rankings, Warwick's in. They're number 8. Crest is number 9, as mentioned. Central's number 2 in 2A. For the good of the order, anything, Jace?
Basketball sports writers all-state teams will be released Sunday.
All right.
We may not get an LL representative on that team, but Linville Hill Christian should almost certainly have at least one, maybe 2 guys mentioned.
They should have
and
multiple.
Maybe a coach as well.
Yeah. No LLs?
Be close. Chase Smucker is one of the nominees.
I would think.
He would probably have the best shot. Lampeter Strasburg, all-time leading scorer.
For the good of the order,
No, sir.
good to go?
Absolutely.
Welcome aboard.
Thank
For the
you.
good of the order is I'm sandwiched between 2 St. Louis Cardinals fans. How did that happen?
We're slowly taking over.
Oh my God, Phillies, come on.
We joined the show when the Cardinals were at their lowest level
I
in the
know.
last 20 years.
I know. So I complain about the Phillies all the time. I got to listen to these guys talk about the Cardinals. Okay, enjoy all of the LL Spring Sports. We got you covered. LMP and Lancaster Online. Click away, please. We're doing our best. For Jason and Brian, I'm Jeff. We'll see you next week.